I accept that across all of that viewership, I have perhaps, possibly, maybe said one thing, or maybe two, that has upset a large range of people.
If I was breaking laws, I'd be in jail. Trust me, I drive at the speed limit, my friend.
Why? They can't put you in jail if you're innocent. Yes, they can.
Andrew Tate has been arrested, but the mainstream narrative makes no sense. This is Tate predicting his arrest around a month before it happened.
The only thing, and I'll state this at the beginning, the only reason I'm upset by being canceled is because I've expired one of my lives. Because first you get canceled, then they make up a reason to put you in jail, and if that fails, they kill you. So now I'm down to my last 2 lives, which is also why while I'm answering this question, I'm still being careful how I'm answering it. I'm not telling you
Scary.
that. It's scary, because they've given me the warning, and I'm still running my mouth.
Yeah.
So that's scary.
1 month later, this happened.
Now, the online influencer Andrew Tate has been detained in Romania as part of a human trafficking and rape investigation. Mr. Tate was arrested, as was his brother Tristan, when his house was raided in the capital Bucharest. A lawyer.
Well, a controversial online influencer and self-confessed misogynist is facing charges this morning for human trafficking, rape, and organized crime.
The controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate has been arrested in Romania on suspicion of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group.
And as he was being taken away by Romanian police, he had one final message to say to the world.
The Matrix has attacked me.
On one hand, Tate's got a good point.
They're either going to try and put me in jail, they're going to kill me, and I would never kill myself under any circumstances ever. And the reason I say this, and I say this to people, and they go, but what can they put you in jail for? And I'm like, how ignorant are you in your ignorance to believe they need a reason? You believe it's fair. You believe I can get a lawyer and prove myself innocent. That's not how it works. They decide you're guilty long before and they find a reason why. And it doesn't matter what you do about it, you will pay the price. It's not fair. None of it is. Every single system's corrupt. It actually annoys me when people say that to me. Well, just get a lawyer. Why? They can't put you in jail if you're innocent. Yes, they can.
On the other hand, he has some questionable things that don't make him look very good. So is he guilty? Did the Matrix really send their agents? Will Tate be suicided soon? Stay dangerous, and this is what we know so far. Tate became the most famous person in the world because of this one genius strategy. He would get his fans to buy his course Hustlers University, then he offered them $25 for every sale they got for his course, and then he taught them step by step how to create their own viral Andrew Tate fan page on TikTok. That way, the more TikToks they posted, the more money they made, and the more famous Tate got. It worked out so well that one affiliate was making over $11,000 in 1 week. But sadly, Tate had to close his affiliate program, so you can't join it anymore. But if you're interested in doing something like this to make money, we just launched our own affiliate program just like his for the masterclass we sell. Except instead of paying you $25 per sign up, you get paid 4 times that at around $100 per sign up. And just like Tate, we also teach you how to edit the TikToks, which clips to use, best practices, and more. Click the link below to watch the first lesson of our masterclass for free and buy now. When Tate was a broke kickboxer, he got sick of being broke and he came up with his plan to make his riches. A webcam business. It would go on to make him rich, but it would also lay the foundation for his human trafficking and organized crime charges.
It wasn't nearly as big, and I found this little webcam thing, and I was like, this might be some money. So I text all my girlfriends, I think it was 5 of them, text all 5, said, you're all coming here to live with me and work with me. None of them knew about each other. Bro, Tristan will tell you the story. He'll tell you. All 5 flew in, picked them all up. They're all sitting there. I sat them around the same table. Bro, I need to get paid. Right? I'm broke now. I'm retired from fighting. I have no money. I'm running out of money. So I put them all around the same table, and I was like, look, we're going to start a webcam business. You're going to stay. You're going to live in London. I'm going to look after you, and we're going to get rich. We're going to be a team. And they're all like, well, who's this bitch? I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chicks. And you're going to stay here, and we're going to make some money. Big fight kicks off, blah, 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 blah. In the end, long story short, 3 left, 2 stayed. Those are my first 2 girls. And we started this little webcam business from my apartment. And it just grew and grew and grew. And it got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations. Damn. And I was doing $600,000 a month from webcam.
And although all of this does sound a bit shady, technically there was nothing illegal about his business, and Tate was in paradise. Until one day a girl got too drunk in his apartment, made a mess and refused to clean it up, and that's when Tate knew that he would have to teach her a lesson.
Then I had one girl and she got too drunk one day and she threw up in my apartment. I told her to clean up. She refused to clean up, started being an idiot. So I took her stuff, threw out the window. Because it's like, it's about that. With women, you never hit a girl, right? Can't do that. But if
We learned that the hard way last week.
You can't hit them. But if all the other girls see me be disrespected,
Yeah.
they're gonna lose respect for me.
Facts.
Right?
Yep.
So when she's like, I ain't cleaning that up, you get that. So I was like, look, I don't care. And she was my biggest earning girl. She made me on her own maybe $25,000 a month. So I didn't want to fire her. And she knew I didn't want to fire her, which is more reason why I had to fire her ass. So I was like, all right, cool. You want to be a gangster? Right, you're a gangster. Got her. We're like high up. We're like high up, like here. It was just out the window. So I throws out the window. Got her by her two arms and marched her out the door, locked the door. End of it.
Tate thought the ordeal was over, but months later, the police came knocking.
She starts texting me, you owe me my last month's wages, you owe me my money, give me my money. Did I text her back? I ain't paying you nothing. You threw up my blah, 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 blah. She went to the police and told the police I hit her when I didn't. Whoa. So it's 5 a.m, and this is about 4 months later. 5 a.m, 4 months later, I'm laying in bed. And I heard the door, boom, 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 boom. And I don't know how I knew, I just knew it was police. The way they knocked that door, I was like, if you were gonna rob me, you'd kick the door in, or this is just too obvious. And as soon as I heard that noise, I just paused for a second, I heard police! And I was like, man. I was like, but I didn't know what it was for, right? But there's a few things I can't say in the podcast. I've lived a varied life, right? I've done some things when I had to pay the bills.
Right.
So I was a bit like, what's this gonna be? So I flush my phone down the toilet quickly. Boom. I'm coming. So I'm trying to hide. I'm looking around, like, what do I have to hide? Eventually the door comes off the hinges. Boom. Police bust in.
This alone, him admitting to flushing his phone down the toilet, which is destroying evidence, definitely doesn't help his case. And this run-in with the law would be what led him to move to Romania. He chose Romania because of his Christian values before he converted to Islam. He chose Romania because of how accessible corruption is there. But little did he know that same corruption would end up being directed towards him.
Can I ask, why do you choose to live there?
In Romania?
Yeah, I know you have like businesses and things going on there, but why there?
Because Western society is degraded and Western society is more corrupt. So I think the Western world, there's something that very much angers me about the Western world. I don't feel comfortable here. I don't like the way it functions and operates. I think it's the most corrupt, disgusting, degraded societies on earth. There's nothing left besides money and corporate agenda. And I like living in countries where, one, there's some kind of moral fiber beyond the dollar. And two, I like living in countries where corruption is accessible for everybody. So in Romania, where I happen to live, it's the most Christian country on earth. There's churches everywhere. People see a higher power beyond simply just money and government. They believe in God. That's another reason I like spending time in Dubai. It doesn't matter if it's Allah or God or whatever you want to call him. I like that. And also I like Eastern Europe as a whole because corruption's far more accessible. I find it offensive that a police officer in England will stop me for speeding and then refuse to take a bribe and pretend that... No, but I'll tell you why. Because he'll sit there and go, no, this is the law and order, and pretend that the law means something. And me over. But if you're a billionaire, or if you're Boris Johnson, you can go to Epstein's Island, you can throw parties during COVID, you can do whatever the you want, right? So the whole idea of law and order is a lie. The whole idea of it's bull. It's just about, if you're high enough, you can throw it all away. I'd rather be in a society where if I'm in Prague and they stop me for speeding and they say, bro, you were speeding. Oh, here's $50. All right, cool. Bye. If corruption exists, which it does, let us all play. Why do only they get to play and I don't get to play? So you live in England and they're going to come around and spout law and order at you all day long, but the elites, they ignore all law and order. It's always been it's always been lies.
Fast forward to 2022, Tate becomes the most viral man on the planet by calling out the elites, by calling out those in power, by calling out the Matrix.
These people print money. They're above money, right? And they believe, well, I won't say quite rightly, but I understand why they believe it, that they're better than everybody else. They believe that they're literally a different species than everybody else. We're peasants, we're ants. We're nothing to these people. So if they tell you to do something, you better do it. So if you stand up and say that's dumb, then they go, whoa, who's the big mouth? Oh, this ant's smart. And they'll find a way to check you. And if you're an ant that stands up and then a whole bunch of other ants stand up with you, well, that's where the problems come, right? That's why they got Socrates. You know why Socrates died?
I'd love to hear.
He was arrested and he ended up poisoning himself and killing himself because they were going to execute him. And he was arrested for corrupting the youth because he was convincing the youth to think about not joining the military because the wars were pointless. So corrupting the youth is why Socrates died. If you make the youth think, you're an enemy to the establishment. It's always been the same.
Do you not go to bed at night sometimes and yourself?
Yes. Yes. But at this point, I've now made a decision to stand true to my morals and stand true to God and genuinely be a force of good for the world and genuinely try to make people do good things to other people. And if I'm not going to stop doing that, so if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. It's like being in a plane crash. What can you do? The plane's going down. What are you going to do about it? You can scream and be a girl about it, but the plane's still going to crash. So it's kind of not defeatist. It's kind of like you come to terms with the scenario. Am I going to sell my soul and live longer and have less of an impact on the world and know that I'm aiding the devil in its intentions, or am I going to live a shorter amount of time and do my absolute best to be a positive force for the world and be remembered as such? And I think that God will reward me for that. So it's just, you come to terms with the reality that there are enemies too powerful to fight and there's nothing you can do.
And in August 2022, The Matrix hit back. First he got a strike on YouTube, then his entire digital identity was wiped out overnight. But their attempt to silence Tate backfired badly. Even more videos of Tate started popping up. To get cancelled was the best publicity he's ever gotten. But as Tate explained, he just used up his first life. Much like Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, if you attack the system, the establishment, or the Matrix, or whatever you want to call it, first they'll try to cancel and discredit you.
I think he's a bad guy, Colin. I think the man is a high-tech terrorist.
Dead man can't leak stuff. This guy's a traitor, a treasonous, and he has broken every law of the United States.
If you still don't quiet down, they'll accuse you of something that's easy to frame and unforgivable in the eyes of the public, like rape, sexual assault, child pornography. In the case of Julian Assange, he was accused of rape in Sweden. The charges were later dropped 9 years later after completely ruining his life, and once they accuse you of some heinous crime, they throw you in jail. If that doesn't work if you're still a threat, you'll probably go the same way that Jeffrey Epstein went. With Tate's first life gone, and him only getting louder afterwards, it was time to take away his second life. Since the day Tate kicked that girl out of his apartment, accusations have been following him ever since. And in April 2022, they came after him again. A complaint was made by a woman from the US that she was, quote, being forcibly held at their residence, end quotes. The Tate brothers were questioned by the police for several hours, but without any clear evidence, they were released again.
They came into my house at 5 p.m. They did a forensic search, as they should. At 8 p.m., the search concluded. They took me from my house at 8 p.m. for paperwork at the police station, and by 9:21 I was back home.
Then in August, the Romanian police came to his house in Bucharest again. The accusations this time, human trafficking. But once again, it looked like a false alarm.
Were you arrested for human trafficking? What happened?
Yeah, I was not arrested. So what happened is I suffered from a case of swatting. It's very popular with people who are large on the internet. Many large YouTubers have been swatted. It's where you call the police and you say somebody has a gun or there's a hostage situation and the SWAT team arrives. Somebody made a phone call to the American embassy saying that I was holding women at my house. The police arrived, and let me state this now. I state this openly to the world. I have absolute respect for the police. I would hate to live in a country where if you call the police saying women are being held against their will, that the police don't respond. That would be terrible. Of course they should come and look. Absolutely. They turned up, they investigated. They realized that nobody was in the house against their will. There was no crime committed. They said, okay, you're not a suspect, but you are a witness to this, along with me, my brother, the housekeeper, the gardener. Everybody who was in the premises at the time was labeled a witness. We had to go to the police station for 45 minutes for pieces of paper. We filled them in and we were let go.
So although Tate remained free, these allegations kept following him everywhere. Rumors were spreading that Tate was using the so-called lover boy method, a human trafficking tactic where you recruit female victims by getting them to fall in love with you, dangling the promise of marriage and financial security in front of them, all so that you can exploit them later. But again, for the longest time, the accusations didn't stick. But in December 2022, something changed. Tate was finally arrested.
The Matrix has attacked me.
And if found guilty, he's looking at 3 to 10 years for human trafficking alone. But when you start to look into it, there are a lot of holes in this narrative. See, Tate is no dum-dum. Why would he spend all this effort to become famous? Why would he make himself such a big target? Why would he openly brag that he lives in Romania, where you can literally find his house on Google Maps by searching for Hustlers University, if he's operating a human trafficking ring? If you were operating a human trafficking ring, would you spend your time calling out governments and powerful people, trying to get more and more famous?
With the scrutiny I'm under, does anyone think I'm breaking the law? I'm the most scrutinized man on the planet. Like, if I was breaking laws, I'd be in jail. Trust me, I drive at the speed limit, my friend. That's the level it's got to. Like, they think I'm out here doing bad things. So when the article comes out saying Tate did this, I just pray there's enough people who are outside of the matrix to sit and go, this is some bull, and he doesn't deserve this, because I don't deserve it, because I will be innocent.
Even if they were to get me in some kind of legal trouble, they're going to try again with the media machine. Andrew Tate, well-known misogynist, thief, whatever they're going to say, and they're going to try and convince the world of it. The people who've been canceled at my level, there's only 4 or 5 of them. I think I'm the 5th. And yeah, I'm the last one who's managed to stay all over the social networks. But the problem is that comes with its own issues, right? Because when the Matrix cancels you, it goes in 3 stages. First, they try and shut you up. If that fails, they try and put you in jail for something you didn't do. And if that fails, they kill you, right? So slowly we're moving on to stage 2.
I knew it was coming. I absolutely not knew it was coming because of how orchestrated it was. The only thing, and I'll state this at the beginning, the only reason I'm upset by being canceled is because I've expired one of my lives. Because first you get canceled, then they make up a reason to put you in jail, and if that fails, they kill you.
For an intelligent guy, which I agree with you he is, to be doing the things he's being accused of doing and then go seek publicity is a very unwise move.
If he did the things
Correct.
that he did.
Then it's like, what you would think if you're committing atrocities, you would try to stay under the radar. He does quite the opposite.
Besides, when you have this kind of status as a man, you don't need to hold women against their will. The women come to you on their own free will.
The house that hang out with them. These guys are celebrities in Romania, guys. Women are obviously going to flock towards them. But, right, with anytime you're famous, anytime you have any type of status, any clout or whatever, people look at that, right, to their own advantage. People have nefarious intentions a lot of time to get around people of status and power. And this is no different, okay? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And quite frankly, people will do and say anything to bring you down when you have status and money to elevate themselves. Like, just use common sense. Do you really think guys that have their influence, money, status, stature, need to traffic girls?
For what?
Like, common fucking sense. Do you think that they need to traffic girls?
It's like saying Hugh Hefner needs to do that.
If anything, they kick girls out because there's too many. And you guys got to understand that there is a huge interest in painting these guys in a bad light. There's a huge interest in making allegations against them. There's a huge interest in knocking them off the platform, getting them canceled. And the fastest way, right, to get someone jammed up is quite frankly through women. That's the easiest way. There have been women that came forward and literally said they were offering me $10,000 to $50,000
yep,
to lie on Andrew and Tristan that I was a victim of trafficking, that I was raped, that I was assaulted, etc. Y'all are telling me that if there's women that came forward that admitted, yeah, they offered me this money and I declined it, y'all are telling me there aren't women that will accept it?
100%.
But just like how the US pressured other countries like Sweden and the UK to throw Julian Assange in prison so they can extradite him to America, the same could be happening to Tate right now.
I don't know what's happening, right? Like, what really happened, and why is Romania going after him? Are they being pressured by someone else to do this? Like, what is the reason why they're doing it, and what do they have on him?
The thing you have to understand about Romania is that it is corrupt to the core. It's one of the most corrupt countries in Europe, and everything is for sale in Romania. The police, the courts, everything. And everyone can pay for whatever they want in Romania if they have the money. It's probably why Tate was able to register his compound as a shooting range so he could have guns and armed guards there. Everyone can pay for whatever they want, including the US.
One of the corruptest countries in the world is Romania. You know how many people messaged me yesterday from Romania? Listen, this place is corrupt. That lawyer on the Twitter Spaces yesterday said the following. He said everything in Romania is about money. Everything. So if you want to buy them out to get out, you can do it. If other countries want to buy Romania, they can do it.
Wow.
If other countries want to call Romania to say, hey man, you guys got to get this thing squared away, or else we're not going to give you the support, or we're not going to give you this, you have to do it. So meaning, if a place like Romania can be bought to take a guy like this down, that is very possible. Not saying that's what happened, That's very possible.
That's why a well-connected source told Patrick Bet-David that the US Embassy may have pushed the Romanian police to arrest Tate.
I get a message this morning from a guy that's very, very connected in the what's the word I'm looking for? He's very connected in law and FBI, PD, you know, all
Department
of
of Justice type
extremely qualified guy. I don't want to give exactly what his job is
Okay.
because you know who it is.
Okay.
He said the following: I saw the interviews last night. Keep this in mind if you talk to him. They have to have probable cause to do these warrants. The excuse that somebody made a complaint, an anonymous complaint at that, and they sent a SWAT team to his house is both. Even though it's Romania, they still have laws in the U.S. Embassy, and the U.S. Embassy was involved. I think the embassy put them up to it.
So there is no doubt that Tate has created some powerful enemies, but there's also a legitimate case against Andrew Tate. In a now deleted post, Tate described his work as the following. Quote, my job is to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me, to where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on a webcam so we could become rich together, end quotes. Which no matter how you slice it, sounds a lot like the Loverboy method. Tate also lightly insinuated that one of the reasons he moved to Romania was because the rape laws were more lenient.
He indicated in a statement that this is 40% of the reason why he left England to go to Romania.
Probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania, because in Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flies. When people say, why did you live in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a fucking rapist. But I like the idea of being able to just say to do what I want. I like being free.
This probably wasn't exactly what he meant, but again, it doesn't look good. But this wasn't the only time Tate was giving away a little bit too much info. Here's what an attorney had to say about Tate's case.
5 in the morning, 4 months later, I heard the door, boom, boom, and I heard police. There's a few things I can't say in the podcast. I've lived a varied life.
That is a form of self-snitching. That indicates that there's things out there that are illegal that he's done.
I've done some things when I had to pay the bill. What's this gonna be? So I like flush my phone down the toilet quickly. Boom.
So I destroy evidence.
End up with all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there bored, and of course they don't go out. They're not allowed out.
So I got all these chicks, they're in love with me. They don't go out, they're not allowed out. That's coercion.
Forget the sex part. Start beating the shit out of you. I grab you by your neck, start annoying me, trying to resist. I just
That is who he's got to be in order to control these women, in order to keep the money coming in. Because he was broke before, right?
But it gets worse. According to the Times of London, one of his female employees brought in $54,000 per month, but didn't get paid while under Tate's quote, house arrest, end quotes. And there's also a transcript of a conversation between Tate and one of his victims. Quote, you have to understand that once you're mine, you'll be mine forever. A woman never leaves her man. I will be the last man in your life, end quotes. Quote, can you be loving enough to be a wife? To always be by my side wherever I go? To talk to 0 men besides me? Ride or die? You have to move to Romania with me to keep an eye on you. You're mine, do not forget that and act like it. We will be together soon, end quotes. Again, he didn't admit guilt in these statements, but again, it doesn't look good for him. All of this wouldn't sound too good in a court of law, but let's be honest. Right now, no one knows what's going on. His diehard fans and loyal friends stand by him and say he wouldn't hurt anyone, and that all those women are being bribed by the government to bring Tate down, and his haters are celebrating his downfall. After all, he did say that he doesn't have a squeaky clean past.
There's a few things I can't say in the podcast. I've lived a varied life, right? I've done some things when I had to pay the bills.
Maybe his past is coming to haunt him even though he's not doing anything illegal anymore. From a cult psychology marketing perspective, this idea of this perfect David and Goliath story of the Matrix coming after him for spreading the word of God is the perfect narrative. This story is changing super fast. Andrew Tate was apparently taken to a hospital from his jail cell, so an account you may want to follow is Tate's manager's Twitter, where he just shared a video where 2 of the 6 alleged victims came out on TV to say that allegations against the Tates are false, and that quote, they are like family with the Tates, end quotes. But one thing is for sure, if Tate is right, if it's true that the Matrix is after him, if it's true that he just used up his 2nd life and is now on his 3rd, he has said many times before that he will never kill himself.
Within 3 minutes, bro. Within 3 minutes, when 150 different activists post basically the same wording and slightly rewritten in the same picture, there's somebody above and behind all this. So they decided, somebody, whoever they are, don't kill me. I'd never kill myself. Don't fucking try. But, bro, because that's what's next. That's what's next. It's scary. I'm telling you, everyone thinks I'm paranoid. Everyone thinks I'm crazy.
And I'm telling them to do the opposite. I'm telling them to think. And that's the last thing they want. So they decided, Andrew's telling the population, the subsect of the population that we're most fearful of, to think for themselves. So Andrew has to go. And they attempted to cancel me. They have failed. Now I have to make sure they don't try and suicide me. That's the next goal. Well, because what happens if you don't shut up, eventually that's what comes next. So for everyone watching at home, I would never kill myself. It's the most common tactic in the world. First, they insult your character and attack you. It's stage one of the three stages. They attack you, your character, and cancel you. They put you in jail for something you did not do. And the last is they kill you. And I'll make it very clear here, I would never kill myself under any circumstances, ever, ever. And if I like to think that if anybody sees a media article where I've been locked up for whatever it is, they're gonna look at it and go, this is bull. Tate didn't do that.
When the Matrix cancels you, it goes in three stages. First, they try and shut you up. If that fails, they try and put you in jail for something you didn't do. And if that fails, they kill you, right?
And you can bet that we're gonna make an update video as more information comes out, so make sure you subscribe for part 2. The main reason Tate blew up was because he got his fans to relentlessly post TikToks of him saying the most insane stuff. And he got his fans to do this by paying them $25 for every sale they got him for his course Hustlers University. People would buy his course, he would then provide them with super detailed instructions on how to edit TikToks. He provided a Google Doc with all the controversial clips of him. He basically handheld his fans on how to create a viral Andrew Tate fan page. So the more viral TikToks they posted of him, the more traffic they drove to their affiliate link for his course, and the more money they made. And it worked insanely well. One affiliate was making over $11,000 in 1 week, and some were apparently making even more than that. But sadly, Tate had to close off his affiliate program so you can't join it anymore. But lucky for you, I just launched our own affiliate program. And to make it even sweeter than Tate's, instead of just getting $25 per sign up, you can earn 4 times that at around $100 per sign up. And we also have step-by-step lessons, teaching you how to post viral shorts and TikToks of my videos exactly like Tate did. We teach you how to edit them with completely free video editing software, which clips to choose, best practices, we give you all the shortcuts. Our masterclass is called Financial Slavery Masterclass, and it's perhaps my greatest body of work yet. 20 plus lessons all narrated by me in the same documentary style you've come to love. And it's about how all the most powerful governments and corporations today are successful because they exploited this one secret, and how you too can use this one secret to gain more money and power. What is the secret, you may ask? Well, you'll have to watch our first lesson for free with the link below to find out. All I can say is there has never been a course like this ever made, so on top of the $100 affiliate program, you're also going to be learning the truth of the world that everyone is too afraid or too ignorant to say out loud. So click the link below, buy the masterclass, and become an affiliate now.